Territory like wasteland, Kimasabi. Right all morning, no water. What people do for their cattle?
I don't know, Tonto. From the looks of things, this drought has been here for quite a spell.
Look, Kimasabi.
Watch yourself, Clem. It looks like the same fellas we just left.
Stay where we are. We got you this time. Now give us back what you took from us.
You've got the wrong men. We haven't stolen anything from anybody.
Then what are you doing with that mask on?
Don't let the mask fool you. It's my protection as well as that gun is yours. We're your friends.
You don't look like one of them, Clem. Neither of them.
But a man with a mask, Sam. How can we trust him?
I don't know, Clem. I don't know.
All I say is don't worry about my mask. Your partner is hurt badly. You need help. Tonto, get some bandages.
I don't know who you are, stranger. I guess it don't make much difference. But if you want to give us some help, we could sure use it.
We were trailing them right through the pass down there. 60 head of cattle. Sure, we knew they was lagging, and we come up sudden to straighten them out. And we found some strangers a-making off with the whole herd.
That's how they come to shoot, Sam. Never give us a chance. 4 of them. They even whipped our horses onto the plain, so we couldn't give them any chase.
Robbing innocent settlers is the rottenest thing I ever heard of.
Well, we aren't exactly settlers, stranger.
Not by a long shot. We're old-timers around here, son. I went east a month ago to buy up a herd and get a ranch started, like the rest of them around here. Just come back today. We got a little house over there and a parcel of land.
Look, my Indian friends found your horses.
What we do now, Kimasabi?
Some hard riding, Tonto. Glenn, you take your partner home. Tonto and I will try and pick up the trail of the outlaws.
You boys must have real softening of the brain. Yes, sirree. Ridden them 2 old men of the cattle and then letting them get away. And in clear daylight. What did I tell you? Didn't I tell you not to operate in the daytime? We're just stealing scattered herds at night. 20, 30 at a time.
They were there for the taking, Sheriff. We didn't think they was being watched.
Nobody's asking you to think. I'm doing the thinking around here. That's why I called you boys in. I got a good mind to fire the whole bunch of you. Here I am taking advantage of the drought, and here you are wrecking me.
Shattuck, what makes you so smart?
Now don't you go getting up in your high heels, Bill. Up to now, I've been telling these ranchmen their cattle been roaming off looking for water because of the drought. And they've been believing me. How you figure we already got away with so many head without them knowing they've been stolen?
What are you getting so excited about?
Because they know now somebody's stealing something. How long is it going to take you to drive what you just stole up to our hideout and have them branded like the rest?
Oh, we'll have them up there by nightfall. They're just up the canyon.
All right, just you don't go making any more rates than I tell you. I'm going down now and quiet them ranchmen. This drought's going to maybe last another 2 weeks, and I want it to work for us till I say we pull out of here.
And what if they tell you to go jump and come up in the hills and start looking?
I'll manage them down there. You just manage things here. And anybody moving this way into Stone Mountain, you just shoot first and talk after. I don't want nobody to leave here alive. Understand?
All trails disappear, Kimasabi. But me sure them go this way.
They might have, Tonto. This land is so hard and dry, it's impossible to find prints.
But rustlers, them not just vanish.
I'm riding back to the next fort to see those 2 old men. You ride into town. Ask the sheriff to come out to their shack and bring a posse. We'll need help tracking down those rustlers.
Tonto, me come for you, Sheriff. Big trouble.
Yes, sir. There's always trouble, son.
You come now.
Trouble don't mean nothing to me, boy. I can remember trouble as far back
Now,
as...
Sheriff.
Maybe we better take our time about the rush, Tonto. Matter of fact, I kind of got a notion why you're here to fetch me.
Me not understand.
Saw those two old cattlemen who lost their herd. They gave me the whole story. Said something about a man wearing a mask and an Injun helping them. I thought you'd ridden off. I sure enough did. Take a load off your feet. It's a hot day.
You take it plenty easy, Sheriff. That mean maybe you'll find men who steal cattle?
No, can't says I didn't. Been out looking for 'em, though. Yes, sirree. Been out hunting them buzzards up till 10 minutes ago.
Then you come quick. Kemosabe sent me ask you to call out Posse. Him up at Old Men's shack.
Posse, huh? Now, ain't that asking a lot from the law when I don't even know the man? What's that name he uses? Kemosabe. What's that mean?
Kemosabe. That mean trusty scout.
Now, a trusty scout shouldn't be doing a thing like that. Taking things into his own hands. No siree, not asking to call out a posse. Pretty, ain't it? Right pretty for a quick sniff of the scissors.
You come now, Sheriff. Call out Posse.
I'm coming, boy, but I think maybe we don't call any posse till we do a little investigating.
We hurry maybe, huh, Sheriff?
Never got used to hurrying, Injun. Always figured on taking life easy. You live longer. Yes, sirree. That's what my pappy used to say. You live a lot longer. Now let's go up and see that friend of yours, Kemosabe.
I told you men once, and I'm telling you again. We called you in here to tell you what happened, but... Well, if he wants to wear a mask on his face, that's his business. He helped Clem and me.
And I say no one's safe in this territory until these outlaws are wiped out.
What I want to know is the same men what stole Clem and Sam's cattle stolen ours this last month?
Well, maybe they have and maybe they haven't. What we first got to do is find these thieves.
All right. I trust Sam. Whatever he says goes. Let the masked man stay. I just say let's stop chewing the fat and get the sheriff and a posse going.
Now, boys, let's take it easy. Let's take it easy. I'm the acting sheriff of this here county, duly appointed by Sheriff Honeywell till he returns. I'm the one who takes the action.
I'm making a strong call for action, Sheriff.
If you're so strong for laying your hand on the table, mister, why don't you take off that mask and tell us who you are? Man's got a right to a lot of suspicion when 60 head of cattle's been stolen.
Say, maybe the sheriff's got something there.
You wrong. All wrong. Him, me on side of law.
My Indian friend is right. If we were crooks, we wouldn't be here. We'd be riding hard in the other direction.
That's a fair enough argument, stranger, and I ain't hankering to press the point. And if you boys want to get up a posse, I say let's get up a posse right now. I'm here to protect you, yes, sirree. But we don't need him or the Injun.
He's just giving us something to chew on, Sheriff. What about our cattle disappearing this last month?
Now, boys, ain't I been telling you they've been roaming off getting lost because of the drought? Don't let this here stranger get you all mixed up because of what happened today. I've been riding all morning ever since Sam and Clem here told me about losing the cattle.
Then I say let's start riding all over again.
I'm with you, Clem. I'm with you all the way. But I don't think riding now's a good idea, even if he does. I never misled you before, have I, Ray?
We all trust you, Sheriff.
Well, that's what I figured. It'll be dark in a few hours and going to be hard to pick up the trail. What do you say we start first thing at dawn? That is, if it's all right with you. Then that's settled. That's fine. That's fair enough. So you want to go along with this too, stranger? You and the Injun?
That's what we're counting on, Sheriff.
All right. You men meet me at the office at 5 o'clock in the morning. Just be sure you got yourself some fast horses and plenty of ammunition.
Sheriff, we'll go along with you now.
All right, sure enough. Maybe I can put you two up in town somewhere. What do you say?
Yeah, maybe you can.
I'm glad to see you boys so reasonable about this. Now, we'll catch these crooks, don't you worry. Lem Shattuck may be only acting sheriff, but he don't let no grass grow under his feet. Say, stranger, got myself a notion.
Oh? What's that?
Seeing you fellas so anxious to help out and these old boys back there so tired and worried, maybe we can save them some time.
That's mighty considerate of you, Sheriff.
That's what I'm being paid for, son. That's what I'm being paid for. See, I didn't want to get the boys riled up in there. That's why I'd been trying to discourage them to wait for morning. But I got a feeling that 60 head of cattle's being head up in Stone Mountain.
Stone Mountain. Maybe him right, Kimasabi.
I'm telling you, the trail ended in that direction when I was out. But I was too tired to follow it. Now I feel perked up again, raring to go.
Let's call the men out and get started now.
Oh, that's what I mean, son. They're old men. Maybe they'll get hurt. Maybe there'll be a little shooting. Besides, a large posse moving about is going to make noise, attract attention. Just let's scout ourselves and save them the trouble.
That's fair enough. What do you say, Tonto?
Me think that good idea.
Fine. Let's do it. We'll be back before nightfall.
Cattle's been up here sure as shooting. Trail picks up again right here. Look at the ground. Lucky there are 3 of us or we wouldn't have found it.
Yeah, I see.
I think we're close, boys. We've got to take it easy. Something tells me it's going to be better if we separate here. We're up somewhere in that canyon. If we move in on them for 2 directions, we got them trapped.
I think you're right.
If we don't have any luck, meet you up in the pass in a half hour.
All right. Come on, Tonto.
Who's that?
I told you to stand watch.
You wanted to play cards, didn't you? Stop blaming me. Shot her.
Where's the others? Where's Gus and Hank?
We got to thinking they'd better move the cattle before night. They're taking them across the line to the hideout now.
Why ain't one of you outside standing guard?
I told him to watch.
Stop blaming me. You could have watched as well as I could have.
All right. Shut up, the both of you. I hope you can shoot at least.
Shoot what?
I want you to get a couple of guys I brought up here with me. They'll be along in a few minutes.
You don't know who they are, huh?
One's a masked man and one's an Injun. Any 2 guys that talk up to a sheriff the way they done ain't healthy to have around. At least not around here.
How are you going to explain in town about these 2 hombres disappearing?
When they don't show up in the morning, I'll just say they rode away and nobody'll miss them.
And what about the posse?
I can get rid of those old fools anytime. I'll just lead them around Rimrock Pass and tire them out. But these 2 guys with me, I want to get rid of now.
Hey, where are you going?
Back to town, just in case some of those old randies gets it into their heads to do something out of line.
And what do we do with the bodies?
I don't care. Bury them. Just be sure you got 2 bodies to bury.
Don't worry.
Tonto, that'll take you high up. I'll go straight ahead. Leave our horses about a quarter of a mile in and move into the hills on foot.
Me understand, Kimasabi. You come up, me go down.
Right.
That's one of them. That's the last walk he's ever going to take.
What about the engine?
One thing at a time. We'll get the engine next.
I'll get him next.
All right, you'll get him. Watch what I do to this one. How you like that?
I'm next.
All right. You're next. Now, where's that engine?
Get up hands. Drop rifle. Why you shoot gun?
He done it.
That's a lie. You done it. He done it, Injun.
What's the matter with you, Injun? What's the matter with 2 guys out shooting for squirrel?
Me not so sure. Turn around. Keep hands up. We go down the road now.
We're going to be awful sorry for this fellow.
We never feel sorry for outlaws.
Outlaws? Are we in outlaws, Injun? Where'd you get that idea? We just up here doing a little hunting, like I said.
Kimasabi.
Some squirrel shooting.
Good work, Tonto.
Me sure scared for a minute when we see your boots from behind rock. What we do now, Kimasabi? There must be more gang.
You're right. We've got to work fast before they return. Now, here's what I want you to do.
Well, I'll give you up for lost. You never showed up.
We get off trail, Sheriff. You come now.
What happened to your partner?
We get in big fight. 2 outlaws, them try kill us. Me escape. You come quick. Kimasabi need you.
Well, now, what do you know about that?
We catch those 2 men. You help. Will you fix them, Sheriff?
I'll fix them. I'll fix them good. Come on.
Them in shack behind trees, Sheriff.
All right. Don't make any noise. You go first.
Better law go first, Sheriff. Me follow. See what me tell you, Sheriff?
What do you know?
Get him up. Get in there.
You guys can't even do an easy job right, can you? You get them, they get you. That it? Cat and mouse, huh? Well, you ain't going to get anybody anymore, stranger. You or the Injun. Why don't you guys say something?
What do you want us to say?
A couple of thick-skulled rannies, that's what I hired.
So you admit your own guilt, eh, Sheriff?
Guilty enough to hang if they ever find out about me. I didn't get the idea of stealing cattle this way until the drought come. But before I'm through, I'm going to be a rich man.
At the expense of wrecking every cattleman in this territory?
I'm not worried about them. Just about me. Now let's get a look at you.
All I wanted to hear you say, Sheriff. Now drop your gun belt. Quick.
You ain't going to get away with this. Why don't you guys say something?
With our feet tied and that gun in his hand, you ain't paying us that much money.
Anyway, you're the blockhead in this setup, Sheriff. We didn't say anything to this guy. Why don't you keep your big mouth shut? We figured you'd get us off later.
I ain't worried. You ain't got no witnesses to what I just said, stranger. It's your word against mine, and the boys down there believe me.
You're quite right, Sheriff. That's why I had to get you to talk first. You can come in now, men.
I guess your scheme is just about finished, Sheriff.
See, Tonto notified these men a half hour before he notified you. As you said, we did need witnesses.
Pretty clever, ain't you?
And by nightfall, the rest of the cattlemen will have your whole gang rounded up. You'll talk plenty now, Sheriff.
Yeah, I guess I will. Just want to know one thing. My boys here wrecked this thing for me.
Not exactly. You see, I suspected you before we rode up here to Stone Mountain.
It wasn't a thing I said.
Not what you said, Sheriff. What you did. You see, a man as easygoing and as lazy as you claim to be wouldn't have ridden all morning after cattle thieves without asking for help. That is, if he wasn't trying to hide something.
Oh, that's what I wanted to know. Just so I won't make the same mistake next time.
Kemosabe, you all right?
Much better shape than the acting sheriff. I think you men can handle the rest. You'll have your cattle back tomorrow.
We can't thank you enough, friend.
Adios.
Say, we ain't even asked the stranger his name. Hey, wait a minute. We don't even know who you are.
Don't get yourself ruffled, George. The Injun told me who he is on the way up here. There's only one man who could have caught the sheriff, and that's him. He's the Lone Ranger.
Hail, Silver! Away! Hail, Silver! Ranger.
Kemosabe, after me get water, me find dead Indian in bushes.
Dead?
Him murdered, stabbed him back.
We'd better take a look. Come on.
Him Sioux belong White Eagle's tribe.
The reservation's about a mile from here. Forbidden to leave it by terms of a peace treaty.
Him may be brought here after him dead.
Think so?
Show you tracks.
Come on.
Here, two horses ride in, body dragged over ground. Here, horses go away.
Back toward the reservation.
We follow this trail, Kemosabe?
Yes, Tonto. We're going to try to find out who killed this Indian and why.
Anything wrong, Sergeant?
Not now. I had a little trouble in Dobie Pass.
Trouble? What kind of trouble?
I went out there to plant some poison. Keep the animals from digging near those rifles we buried. An Indian named Standing Tree came snooping around. I don't know whether he followed me there or how much he guessed. But it doesn't matter now.
Well, if you shot him, you fool, it'll be traced right back to you. Being a sergeant in the Indian police, you're the only one that can carry a weapon.
I didn't shoot him. I disposed of him off the reservation.
I've had so much trouble smuggling those rifles in. And everything depended on them. I guess my nerves are ragged.
First time I've known you had nerves.
Well, I've got them today. Sergeant, the big guns from the Empire Land Company are on my neck. They're threatening to take away the shares they gave us unless we give them some action.
They can't do that. Not if they want to grab this reservation. And you know they can't until the tribe breaks the peace treaty and gets moved out.
Well, that's what they're complaining about. They say that it's taking you too much time to stir up trouble.
They'll have to realize this thing takes time. You tell him I had Red Moon and several other braves lined up for an outbreak?
Yes, but the big question is, will the rest of the tribe string along?
Now, Chief White Eagle keeps talking peace to them. So far, he's held them in check. But I'm working on them.
I know you are, Sergeant. And we'll both cash in on it. I'll be able to get away from this dirty reservation and these filthy Indians.
You look down on them, don't you? And on me, too, I suppose, because I'm half Indian.
Oh, no. Not at all, Sergeant. I mean, after all, I've taken you into my confidence, haven't I?
Yes, for your own gains. Well, we're in the same boat, Bowles. Remember that.
Of course. Now, what about this Indian that you disposed of? Will he be missed?
Not for some time. They'll think he's out trapping and fishing with the rest of the tribe.
It's too bad we can't get rid of White Eagle that easily.
Well, he hardly stirs away from his teepee these days.
Say, you know, Sergeant, there's a girl over there right now painting his portrait. She came out here with a military escort from the fort with a bunch of tourists.
What about her?
Well, you know, Indians and pictures and their superstitions about pictures may work out very well for us.
Chief White Eagle, you're very patient to sit still so long for my painting.
White Eagle has learned patience. His warrior days are over. There is little to live for.
You will live in this picture. All those who see it will say, there was a noble and honorable warrior.
There is mighty medicine in your paintbrush, my white sister. Put this thought on my face. I wish peace for my people.
I'll try my best.
Ah, Piache. Piache.
Who is he?
Red Moon, medicine man. He say you bring evil spirits here.
Please tell him I bring only goodwill.
Piache. Piache. Hakko. Hakko.
Is he angry?
Yeah. He tried to stir up my people against the white man. It is Colonel Stacy from Fort. He is man of honor and understanding.
I hope you'll understand why I'm here.
Peace and health, White Eagle.
Now, you honor this visit to White Eagle.
I come to see that all is well with my red brother.
All is well with me, but my young braves remain restless.
That is natural, I suppose. They'll adjust themselves to the ways of peace in time.
I wish peace for them. I talk peace to them. I not want them driven from this land which is theirs.
Your words have great wisdom, White Eagle. And your counsel will prevail, I'm sure. And now, young lady, who are you?
I'm Antoinette Carver. Tony to my friends. I'm an artist.
And a good one, judging by your work. But what I want to know is how did you get here?
I came with a group of visitors this morning. We had a pass signed by you.
Then you were supposed to leave as they did. The pass was only good for 2 hours.
But I wanted to paint White Eagle's picture. He's so interesting. So I just sort of hid out for a little while.
You have violated the military law, Miss Carver.
Rules, regulations, and orders. That's all you Army men think about. I shouldn't care to live my life that way.
Our rules are for your protection, young lady. You're on a reservation of a warlike tribe who have only recently declared peace. And I do not care to have you or anyone else complicate the situation.
Can White Eagle ask favor of White Brother?
What is it?
White Eagle want face on canvas. Then he send it to Great White Father in Washington with message of peace.
Your words have merit. Sergeant Pella, come here. Miss Carver, you may proceed with your portrait of White Eagle,
Thank you, Colonel.
but you'll be under escort.
I really don't think I need an escort.
I'm the best judge of that. Sergeant Pella, you'll be responsible for this young lady's safety.
Yes, sir.
Kimasabi. They're a moccasin track. They're mark of heavy boot.
That would mean that a white man killed the Indian.
A white man would shoot, not use knife.
That's possible. He might have figured that a shot would be heard.
There's something wrong here. Why Indian get off horse in first place?
May have seen something or looking. Tonto, Over there. Another dead coyote.
This makes second one we find around here.
Yes, it's unusual.
Not dead long. No wounds on this one either. No trap marks. Him poisoned.
Poisoned? Why would anyone poison animals in this barren region?
Coyote tracks go here. And here. This meat poisoned.
Here's where the animal was digging. There's a piece of buffalo hide he dug up.
I wonder how that get buried.
That's what we're going to find out, Tonto. There's the reason they didn't want the coyotes digging, Tonto. Rifles and ammunition.
They look like 50, 60 rifles here.
In good condition, too. Packed in tallow and wrapped in buffalo hides.
And that's why hungry animals dig for them. Wonder how they got buried.
I don't know, Tonto. But the Indians surrendered their rifles to the Army. These must have been smuggled in recently.
That's plenty hard to do, past guards.
Yes, almost impossible. Unless some of the guards were in on the scheme.
Me think White Eagle will not know about this.
I'm sure he doesn't. If he did, he'd report it to the Army.
Pouches not hold many bullets.
Enough to cause death and destruction to troops and settlers. Disaster to the Indians. We must prevent that.
What we do?
We'll put everything back and refill the hole. Then get word to White Eagle.
Why you not tell Colonel Stacy?
I want White Eagle to get the credit for this, not the blame.
But maybe somebody dig up guns and bullets and use them.
There's a way to take care of that, Tonto. Remove the powder and make the bullets harmless.
You sort of startled me coming in the back way, Sergeant.
Running Bear said you wanted to see me.
Yes. How long is this Miss Carver going to be around here?
I think she'll finish White Eagle's picture today or tomorrow.
And then we haven't got much time to spare. We've got to get rid of White Eagle while she's still here.
Why does she have to be here?
Because we need a sacrificial victim to the Indian superstition.
Look, I know it's your idea that she'll be blamed by the tribe if anything happens to the chief. But I haven't been able to figure out how to do it. I can't kill him in broad daylight. Even the rebellious Braves wouldn't stand for that. They love him.
Well, you found a way to fix the animals that were digging at the rifles, didn't you?
So that's what you're getting at.
Well, of course, to everyone except the tribe, it'll look like a heart attack.
And what if an army surgeon investigates?
Once the uprising starts, there won't be any time for investigations. Afterwards, you and I will both clear out of here with our pockets full of money. Well, it's nearly time for the chief's midday meal.
I'll see you later.
All right.
Your portrait will be finished today, White Eagle.
My white sister does great honor to this chief.
Yes.
Hola. Oye, what?
I hope they haven't been disturbing you, Miss Carver.
Not at all.
That's a fine picture of the chief.
Thank you.
Why do you keep your chief waiting for his food?
Tonto, can you get a message to White Eagle without being stopped and questioned?
Me know many trails into reservation.
Good. First go to town and get some supplies. Then head for the reservation. Meantime, I'll check on what the main body of the tribe is doing over at Blue River. Tell the chief I'm coming to see him tonight.
Would you turn a little bit more to your right? Chief White Eagle! Are you ill?
White Eagle feel tired. Very tired.
You seem to be in pain.
No. Work. Paint. Make White Eagle face live on your canvas.
Is he going on now? Old chief plenty sick.
Well, can't we get a doctor?
Keep voice low. If him die while you pet him, Indians blame you.
Why should they?
Tonto, my friend, I go to land of Wonkatonga.
How him get sick?
After he ate?
Smell like poisoned meat.
Tonto, enough, honey! Enough, honey, Paul! Enough, honey, Paul! Enough, honey, Paul! Enough, honey!
What's the matter with White Eagle?
The chief is very ill, Sergeant Paul. Send for the army surgeon.
Him dead.
Dead? Red Moon, take the chief's body inside.
Sergeant, you better get girl to Fort Tonto.
You don't belong to this tribe. Who are you?
Me old friend of Chief White Eagle.
How'd you get on the reservation?
Just ride in to see Chief.
And after you got here, the chief died.
The chief got sick before that, Sergeant. We think he was poisoned.
Poison? That's impossible. I think you're both imagining things. However, it's my duty to hold you for investigation. Running Bear, Big Fish, take this stray Indian to jail. Don't let him get away. Okay. You have one now. Hear me, my brothers. The white squaw killed your chief. She drew his spirit from his body and put it in her picture.
Paula talk truth. This Wendigo make bad medicine for our chief. She must die.
No! No, let me go!
Take her, Red Moon. But do nothing until you dig up the rifles. Take them to the tribe at Blue River. Then you can kill the soldiers who will follow you.
Our brother is wise. We will get rifles and make war medicine, while White Squaw pays for her evil work. Hucko! Hucko!
No, no, let go of me!
Scout!
Tonto's knife.
There are more satisfying things than money, Bowles.
What, for instance?
Seeing those who have looked down on you in trouble. Seeing the terror in their eyes. The fear of death in their faces.
I'll still take money. You better be getting on over to the fort and tell them that the Indians are on the warpath.
There's no rush. We want to give them plenty of time to get the rifles distributed. In the meantime, we have this stray Indian on our hands.
Yeah, he does present a problem since he and the girl saw so much.
The Indians will take care of her. But right now, we'll take care of him. Let him out.
Let him out? Why?
Listen. He's going to try to escape. He'll attack me with this knife. And I'll be forced to shoot him.
That's a very convincing story for the colonel, Sergeant. Come out. He's trying to escape now, Sergeant. Shoot him. Hold it. Drop your guns.
A masked man.
How much did you hear?
More than enough to hang you both. You remember me, don't you, Bowles?
Yes, back in Green Valley, you turned the man I was working for over to the sheriff.
You got out of jail a year ago and formed the Empire Land Company.
You know that, too.
I keep track of such things. Tonto, get their guns.
Thanks, Red Moon. You got us out of a tight spot.
White Squaw been taken to Dobie Pass. I go there now to avenge White Eagle's death.
Make haste, Red Moon. Get the rifles to the rest of the tribe without delay.
Shall be done.
You know, Sergeant, I've always wanted to see the face behind that mask.
Go ahead, then. Unmask him.
I am. Then I'm going to fill him full of lead. white girl for death of Chief.
We've got to save the girl and keep the Indians from going on the warpath. We'll lock these two in the cell and get there in a hurry. First, let's tie and gag these two.
Hear me talk. Have no fear of the soldiers. Their bullets cannot hit you. Yours cannot miss. This will be reward for killing White Squaw, whose medicine brought death to White Eagle. Go, get wood. Huckle. Go. Mama, kanish kana. Kiwa tani chita. Ya, kia inistio.
Red Moon, I've come for the white girl.
Who talked to Red Moon while hiding his face?
Your great chief knew me as a friend. In an hour of need, I served him. Now your people need my help again.
I hear a crooked tongue. You and that Injun are scouts for soldiers, our enemies. Remember my words. Their bullets cannot hit you. Yours cannot miss. Shoot! Kill!
Your guns are useless against us. They will not fire because you're led by an evil spirit. Look, we fold our arms.
Shoot more!
My red brothers, your rifles cannot harm us. Throw them down.
No, no!
The spirit of White Eagle commands it. Go now. Tell your people what you have seen. Tell them the word of White Eagle. Tell them to keep peace, so white man's magic and justice will be on their side. Posse!
I want to thank you for stopping the Indian uprising.
I wouldn't call it an uprising, Colonel.
No, what would you call it taking up arms?
They voluntarily abandoned their rifles. No hostile act was committed against the Army.
That's true. They were victimized by the dishonesty of Bowles and Sergeant Pala. But I'll see that they pay for the outbreak and not the Indians.
That gives me great satisfaction, sir. Goodbye, Miss Carver.
Bye.
Adios, Colonel.
Goodbye. Well, young lady, you got more excitement than you bargained for.
Indeed, I did. And, Colonel, I have much more respect for military regulation.
Well, I'm glad you learned your lesson without too great a cost, Miss Carver.
There's one thing I still don't understand. Why didn't the Indians' guns work against the masked man?
He told me why. After he and Tonto found the rifles, they made the ammunition useless by removing the powder.
So that's it. And the Indians thought it was white man's magic.
Yes, but I call it excellent generalship.
I'd love to paint that masked man's portrait, Colonel. Do you think it could be arranged?
I doubt it. You see, he's the Lone Ranger.
Ranger.
Hey, how about a drink? I'm dying of thirst. Come on, you can be human, can't you?
Look down there. Oh, his hands are tied. Come on!
I didn't mean to shoot him. I didn't want to hurt him.
Take it easy, son. How is he, Tonto?
Him dead, Kimasabi.
Dead? But he can't be. I was just trying to get away.
We saw part of the fight. Considering these, I wouldn't call it a fair one.
Who are you?
Tonto and I were just passing by. If you tell us what happened, maybe we can help you.
But your mask.
You not be afraid. Sometimes mask hide face of good friend. Now you tell. Why your hands tied? Why you fight Indian?
All right, I guess I could use a couple of friends.
You said you were trying to get away from this Indian. Where was he taking you?
To join Buck Fargo's gang.
Buck Fargo? Worst outlaw in the territory.
What Buck Fargo want with a boy like you?
I guess he figured I was worth a lot of money to him.
Now, how you worth money to Buck Fargo?
Did you ever hear of Wayne Baxter?
I guess everybody has. He owns about 20 banks, doesn't he?
22. More than any other man in the state.
What's your tie-up with Wayne Baxter?
Well, I'm his son, Terry.
Well, that make more sense now. You think you part of plan so Buck Fargo can rob your father's bank?
From what I found out this morning, Indian, I'm not part of the plan. I'm the whole plan.
Sit down, Terry. Supposing you tell us exactly what did happen.
Well, first of all, this Indian, Black Eagle, I've seen him around town before. He'd do odd jobs for Thad Kendall, Dad's chief assistant. I always thought Thad was a good friend of mine, until this morning when he came over to our house. I was just finishing breakfast. My brother Glenn was out at our ranch for the cattle roundup, and Dad had just left for the bank when I heard this knocking at the back door. It was Thad Kendall. I couldn't understand what he wanted so early. He asked if anybody else was home but me, and when I said no, he said that was fine because I was the one he'd come to see. That was when he signaled for Black Eagle to come in. I still couldn't figure out what he wanted. When all of a sudden, Black Eagle grabbed me from behind, and Thad pulled out some rope and started tying me up. I fought as hard as I could to get away, but I couldn't do a thing against the two of them. And then all of a sudden, Thad gives me a look like he's hated me all his life, and belts me one across the face as hard as he can. Gee, Thad, what did you do that for?
Just gratifying a long-time ambition, my boy. Think you can handle him?
I don't get this, Thad. What'll Dad think? You've been his friend for 20 years. Do you want to lose your job just before you're retired?
Yeah, 20 years. And what have I got to show for it? A few measly thousands in savings. Oh, no, my boy. When I retire, I'm going to be a rich man, thanks to your father's generosity. You understand what you're to do now? Here's the map Buck Fargo drew for me. You follow it, you should reach his hideout by noon.
Buck Fargo?
That's right, my boy. A banker's son should have a lot in common with a bank robber.
He's never robbed one of Dad's banks. He knows they're too well guarded.
I think perhaps your father will remove the guards when he hears you're riding with the Fargo gang.
Me? Ride with the Buck Fargo gang? My Dad'd never fall for that.
Possibly not. But that won't bring his precious son back to him. Unless he follows orders.
I hope you sold out for a good big price, Thad.
When Buck Fargo makes a deal with a man, he always pays well. Take him along.
You can't do it! And that's the whole story. We've been riding ever since, the Indian and me.
Perfect setup for Fargo. And just as ruthless as all his other jobs.
Well, I'm sure glad you two happened along. I might have been lost out here for days with my hands tied like they were. Well, Dad will be mighty grateful to you for bringing me back.
Yes, I guess he will. Terry, I'm wondering just how brave you are.
Well, what do you mean?
Buck Fargo is the cleverest outlaw in this territory. No one has ever been able to trap him. I think with your help, we might be able to do it.
Gee, mister, there's nothing I'd like better.
All right, then listen. This Indian said Fargo had never seen him before. That means any Indian who takes you to his hideout could be Black Eagle.
Yeah. And if Tonto were to take me there...
He'd have the run of the camp. He could get enough evidence against Fargo to keep him in jail for life. Then he could sneak you out of there before Fargo was any the wiser.
And that good plan, Kimasabi. But what about danger to boy?
Not too great, Tonto. The whole success of Fargo's scheme depends upon him keeping Terry alive. It's your life that'll be in danger. That is, if he suspects that you're not Black Eagle.
Well, gee, I'm game if you are, Tonto. We'd be helping the whole territory if we could trap the Fargo gang.
Good. We go then. Where you be?
I'll see Terry's father right away. Fargo will have to contact him to let him know Terry's a prisoner. I'll try and dig up some evidence of my own.
Hey, Thad gave Black Eagle a map. it is.
Good. I'll make a copy of it. Then you two be on your way.
Glenn! Glenn, are you up there?
Yeah.
Come down, will you?
Now, take it easy, Wayne. I'm sure nothing's the matter.
What is it, Dad?
Have you seen Terry this afternoon?
No, not since early this morning. I was wondering why he wasn't here. Is something the matter?
I don't know. He was supposed to meet me at the bank right after school, but there was no sign of him. And Thad says he saw Terry riding out of town this morning with some strange Indian.
An Indian?
Yes, I'd have asked him where he was going if I'd suspected anything was wrong, but they seem to be perfectly good friends.
I don't understand it. Terry doesn't know any Indians.
Stop worrying, Dad. The kid will probably show up in time for supper.
I don't like it. Terry's never run off before without letting me know where I could find him.
Well, look, if it will relieve your mind any, I'll make some inquiries around town.
Good, Thad.
Maybe I can find somebody who knows who this Indian is.
Thanks, Thad. You're a real friend.
Wayne, you know I'd do anything for you.
I wouldn't worry about Terry, Mr. Baxter. I know where he is.
Put up your hands, outlaw.
You don't need that gun, Glenn. I'm here to help you.
I'm telling you for the last time, mister. Put up your hands or I'll shoot.
It won't do you much good, Glenn. I was afraid you might misunderstand my mask, so I took the precaution of unloading that rifle.
What do you want with me?
First of all, your trust.
Why should we trust a man who wears a mask?
This gun is really loaded. If you still think I'm an outlaw after I'm finished talking, you can use it on me.
I don't get this. You said you know where Terry is. Where?
On his way to join the Buck Fargo gang.
Now I know you're a liar. My son would never join up with an outlaw gang. He's never done anything to make me ashamed of him.
What he's doing now should make you very proud of him, sir. He wrote this note to you. I think it'll explain a lot.
Yeah? Here's that Injun and that kid you've been waiting for, Buck.
So you're Black Eagle. May bring boy like Mr. Kendall promised.
Did you have any trouble grabbing him?
Plenty easy. Him not suspect Mr. Kendall. Him not put up much fight.
Well, how could I, you sneaking redskin, when it was 2 against 1? Kendall told me all about your rotten plan, Fargo, and it isn't going to work.
Isn't it? Maybe this'll teach you to have respect for me.
It better you not hit him. Him plenty weak from journey.
What's the matter, Redskin? Are you getting soft for the kid?
Boy mean nothing to me. But him no good to you if him dead or hurt.
Yeah. I was forgetting. I want to keep Junior here good and healthy, don't I? Healthy enough to ride with us when we rob his father's banks.
You'll never get me to do that.
If you're not careful, kid, I'm going to forget about your health. Get him out of here. Keep him in the next room. I'm putting him in your charge. You seem to know how to handle him.
Me take good care of boy.
Now we got the kid. When are we going to action?
Just as soon as I've had a nice, quiet little talk with his old man.
I wish Glenn would get back from the sheriff's office. I'll feel better when I know there's a posse standing by if we need it.
You're over-anxious, Mr. Baxter. Take it easy.
How can I? Fargo's had plenty of time to contact me if he's really got Terry. Are you sure you can trust that Indian friend of yours?
Don't worry. Tonto will take good care of your boy.
I still think we should follow that map of yours to Fargo's hideout.
And play right into his hands? It's better we let him come to us. That way we're the ones that can set the trap.
But this plan of his to rob my banks, I can never let him get away with it. Not even for Terry's sake. Why, I'd be betraying my depositors.
You only pretend to, Mr. Baxter. If everything works out right, Fargo will be caught before he can touch a dollar. Wait a minute. Isn't that your friend, Mr. Kendall, coming down the street?
Well, yes, that's Thad. But who's the big fellow with him?
Unless I miss my guess, that's the great Buck Fargo himself. I'd better wait upstairs. And don't forget, you're a frantic father. You don't know what's become of your boy.
Don't worry, I'm frantic enough without pretending. Thad, have you found any trace of Terry?
I think I have, Wayne. This gentleman came to the bank a little while ago looking for you. He says he knows where Terry is.
You do? Tell me quickly.
Not so fast, mister. What I gotta say is private. Get rid of this pipsqueak.
Pipsqueak? I don't understand, Wayne, why he was polite as pie at the bank.
Look, if it's money you want, I'll give it to you. Any amount. Just tell me where my boy is.
Like I say, I'll do my talking when we're alone.
Run along, Thad.
But do you think it's safe?
I must find out where Terry is. Now, please go.
Sure, Wayne, sure.
That's more like it. Now we can get down to business.
My boy, where is he?
He's safe enough, Mr. Baxter. Ain't nobody gonna harm a hair on his head. Unless you force him to. Here's my proposition.
Hey, how'd it go?
Like money in the bank. The old boy's as meek as a mouse.
He agreed to the holdup?
He's going to help us unlock the doors himself, personal.
But you're sure he won't try a double cross, have the law waiting to trap you?
He won't dare. I told him Black Eagle would be riding herd on the kid, with orders to shoot to kill if there's even a smell of a double cross.
Sounds perfect, Buck. Oh, say, speaking of Black Eagle, I got something for you to give him.
What do you mean?
Well, you know these Injuns, superstitious, the whole lot of them. Well, Black Eagle's squaw was in this morning. Said he'd gone off without wearing his special good luck charm. Said he'd never reach his destination alive unless he had it on.
He wouldn't reach that alive, huh? He was plenty alive when I last saw him.
Well, you better give it to him anyway. It's just some kind of a ring. And say, I'll be around after the holdup to collect my share. We should get away with plenty, huh?
With Baxter helping us? How can we lose? Hey, Finch, bring Black Eagle and that kid in here. I want to talk to him.
Right, Buck. What happened?
Nothing to worry about. Baxter's playing right along with us.
Now, Dad would never do that.
You be quiet. Listen to Big Boss.
That's right, Black Eagle. Don't let him forget who is boss.
When do we pull the job?
Tomorrow afternoon, 4 o'clock sharp. Baxter will fix it so that everyone's gone but himself. We'll make it look like he's the one been held up.
How you know him not try double cross?
That's where you come in, Black Eagle. You and the kid are gonna ride with us. I've warned the old man that you'll have a gun on the boy every second. I think that'll make him keep his end of the bargain.
Me keep gun ready. You not worry.
You're doing a good job, Black Eagle. There's plenty in it for you, too. All right, you can take the kid out now.
You move pronto.
Wait a minute. Almost forgot. I got something for you.
What that?
Coming away without your favorite good luck charm? You had your squaw scared to death. Which finger do you wear it on?
It not matter much.
All right, I'll put it on this one. Guess that's the wrong finger. That's strange, Black Eagle. A good luck charm that doesn't even fit?
Me not wear ring for a long time. Fingers thinner now.
Yeah? That's not what your squaw told Thad Kendall. She says you're never without it.
Buck, you don't think this Indian is...
I don't think I know. This redskin's not Black Eagle. Just who are you, Indian?
You think me bring boy if me not Black Eagle?
You might, if you had a good enough plan to back it up.
But it don't make sense, Buck. If this Indian is on the side of the law, why would he play into our hands like this?
So we can play into his a little later. Don't you see? We've set things up perfect for him. When we leave for the holdup tomorrow, he don't keep his gun on the boy. He helps him escape. We ride right into an ambush.
I think you're right.
I'm sure I am. Now, answer my questions. Who are you? Who are you working with?
You not have right to hit Black Eagle.
Yeah. You're right. I have no right to hit Black Eagle since he ain't even here. But I have every right to kill you for trying to double-cross me. And that's just what I'm gonna do. Unless you talk. All right. If that's the way you want it.
Tonto, you've got to tell him.
Tonto? So that's who you are.
What's so special about an Indian named Tonto?
Nothing much except that he's the sidekick of a man I've been wanting to get for years. The Lone Ranger.
The Lone Ranger?
You'll never get him.
With you as bait, Indian, you know he'd do anything to save your life. Even take orders from me.
What about the bank holdup tomorrow?
It'll go off on schedule, and there'll be no ambush to stop it. Because I'm heading to town first thing in the morning to make a deal with the Lone Ranger.
Is everything all set?
We just saw the sheriff. He's going to cooperate right down the line.
Fine.
He'll have the whole bank surrounded, Dad. When Fargo and his gang show up, they'll ride in the deadliest ambush you ever saw.
But are you sure Terry will be all right?
Don't worry. We can rely on Tonto and it... Hold on.
That's Buck Fargo riding up. The holdup's not supposed to be till this afternoon. Something must have gone wrong.
We'll find out soon enough. Glenn will wait upstairs. If Fargo tries any tricks, it's better we take him by surprise.
Right.
See what he wants. We'll be listening.
Howdy, Baxter. I reckon you wasn't expecting me so soon.
What's the matter? Has anything happened to Terry?
Of course not. I promised you he wouldn't get hurt, so long as you played the game my way.
Then why are you here?
I came to get someone.
Who?
The man who calls himself the Lone Ranger.
The Lone Ranger?
Don't play coy with me, Baxter. You know who I mean. Where's he hiding, Baxter? Upstairs?
What makes you think he's here?
Because your kid told me. Yeah, and I know about the Indian, too. That would have been a smart trick if it had worked. Listen, you, Lone Ranger, or whatever you call yourself. I'm holding your friend Tonto a prisoner in my hideout. I've left orders if I'm not back by noon sharp, with you riding ahead of me, the Indian's to be shot dead. Do you hear me?
I hear you, Fargo. What guarantee have I that you won't kill Tonto if I do go with you?
You got my word, mister. Ain't that good enough?
I guess it'll have to be. You win, Fargo. I'm coming down.
Be sure to keep your hands good and high when you do. And leave your guns upstairs. So you're the fabulous Lone Ranger. The man that no one could catch. Let's have a look at you. I've heard a lot of outlaws describe you, but not one had ever seen your face. Never imagined I'd be the lucky one. Nothing wrong with that face. You're foolish, mister, to hide it behind the mask. Here, I wouldn't want you to catch cold. Now get this straight, Baxter. I don't know what kind of a plan you and the Sombre have cooked up, but you're calling it off. My gang will ride in to rob your bank this afternoon right on time. Only change is I won't be with them. And neither will the kid, or the masked man and the engine. I'll have them hidden away in a nice, safe place. If my men come back with what they went after, nobody will get hurt. If they don't, you're going to find 3 awful dead bodies in the road. Now get going.
Hiya, Buck.
Hello, Finch. Take a look. The great Lone Ranger, crawling like any snake.
He sure looks natural down there, don't he?
Hey, those two give you any trouble?
Trouble? The way I got him strung up? Hey, where's the gang gone?
I just sent them off. They'll be at the bank at 4 o'clock. There'll be no ambush, no posse to stop them. We just sit tight till they bring the money back. Thanks to our friend here falling into his own trap.
Buck, I sure gotta hand it to you the way you captured that Lone Ranger all by yourself. When do I get to see his pretty face?
Well, I reckon I ought to get a dollar look, but seeing it's you, Finch. Come on, get up, you.
He's not the Lone Ranger, Fargo. Fran, tie him up. You two all right?
We're fine now, Kimasabi, but you give us big scare.
We have to beat Fargo's gang to town. All the sheriff wants is proof that Terry's alive and he'll ambush the lot of them.
Well, then let's get going.
As soon as we take care of Buck.
You had me worried for a while, friend, when I saw Glenn come down those stairs wearing your outfit and that old Halloween mask of Terry's.
You'll have to admit it turned out for the best, though, Mr. Baxter.
What else can I do? With Fargo and his gang locked up in jail, including that double-dealing friend of mine, Thad Kendall. I sure hate being deceived in a man.
Never mind, Dad. You lost one friend and found two better ones.
Come on, Tonto.
Hey, where are you going?
Plenty big jobs ahead. West full of Buck Fargos. We go look for more.
Yes, Glenn. Our work isn't done until all the Buck Fargos are behind bars. Adios.
Gee, Dad, this is something I won't ever forget. And you know who that masked man really is?
No, son. Who is he?
Couldn't you tell? He's the Lone Ranger.